Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. We're continuing in our Imperial Eagle this week, conducting exploration activities nearby our carrier, which is on its maiden voyage out to Colonia. We do a weekly carrier reposition live stream every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time if you're interested in following our journey and coming to hang out with us as we do that. So just keep that in mind as we're doing this.
Frameshift drive charging.
Actually, let me... Yes, the thing is obscured. So let's go ahead and hop into our Super Cruise here, and then we'll move on to the next step in our destination. We're mostly just kind of doing a circle around the carrier while we hang out for the week. I generally try to keep my carrier in one position so that it's easy for people to find if they decide that they want to come and hang out. We do have the... I should have waited. I should have waited till I was all the way out of the atmosphere before I turned it off. That was stupid. I gotta get used to using it again, but it's kind of difficult sometimes. Alright, so we'll pop this out and wait till the orbital lines disappear, and now we should... There we go. Now we're able to do our frame shift drive there. So we will hop into the next system and see what else we can find. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to ask you to help us to reach our next major channel milestone of 10,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. That number doesn't go up unless you actually press the button, so go ahead and do that now. Hit the like button to spread the video out to more people. And then when you're done watching this video, you can head over to the channel and actually check out the more than 1,600 other videos we have available, organized in the nice, neat little playlists. I play a bunch of different stuff, so there'll be definitely something there for you to watch once you're done with this. We're mostly focused on exobiology activities. Those of you who watch on a regular basis already know this, so yeah. We have a little bit of an extra component this week because we're flying the Eagle. The fuel tank on this thing is so small that if I make a mistake and don't pay attention to making sure that we're going to stars that allow us to fuel scoop, we're going to end up running out of fuel, and that's going to be a problem because any exploration data we find is going to be gone when we have to self-destruct to get back to the carrier. So I'm trying to be a little bit more cognizant of paying attention to fuel for this week because I really don't want to do that. Especially if we end up running into a Stratum Tectonicus first footfall situation. That'll be 100 million credits down the toilet if I end up doing that. So I'm really trying to be extra careful this week and make sure we pay attention to that and hopefully don't run into any problems. All right. Well, that got rid of all the asteroid belts. But yeah, these high metal content worlds are the ones where you're going to have a higher chance of finding the... Ooh, no, but it's a single biology. The odds of that being... Well, we don't have anything else to do. We'll go check it out. The odds of that being stratum is very small, but you never know. If it ends up being stratum and we can get some first footfall going on there, that's, like I said, 90 million credits. It's kind of hard to pass up the chance for that. Especially when, you know, we don't have a destination to get to, so there's no real rush, and we do have the Super Cruise overdrive to help us get there faster if it's further away. I wasn't really paying attention to the distance, but it looks like most of these are around 4,000 light seconds away, so that's only a few seconds of Super Cruise overdrive. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and reorient ourselves towards that, and then get it targeted. Oh, it's only 21. Get it targeted as Super Cruise assisted, and then we will boost over. 213C is what we're looking for. Okay, just leave it at full throttle. Get it down to 7 seconds, and then cruise our way in, scan the surface, probably find out that it's just a bacteria, and then we'll move on to the next system. If it ends up being a stratum, though, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised and very happy, because it's really nice when that ends up working out that way. Right. Unfortunately, the body that we're going to is on the far side of the star, so the gravity of the star is actually affecting our ability to approach it at a more rapid rate of speed. But there's nothing I can do. If I bump it too much lower than 7 seconds, like it down into 6 or 5, then there's a good chance I'll end up having to do the loop of shame, and I really want to avoid doing that, because it's kind of annoying. So we'll get ourselves close. All right, rolling the dice. What do you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be bacteria? My money's on bacteria. I'm hoping it's going to be stratum, but my money's on bacteria. All right, just waiting for the surface scanner to say too fast. Oops. What the? Oh. Wrong key. And I'm also... All right, hold on a second. My... All right, there we go. I had my windows set to always on top, but sometimes when I do things, it allows the taskbar to show up on the bottom, and then I end up right-clicking, and it right-clicks my taskbar instead of using my probes here, so it's kind of annoying sometimes. If it's bacteria, we're not bothering to land. If it's stratum, then we'll go down and have a look.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Pretty much what I expected it was going to be. So we'll target the next system en route, get our frameshift drive starting to charge, and find out what is in the next area that we're going to be going to look at. When we hop into the next area, when we hop into the next star system, I'll bring up the galaxy map so you guys can see kind of where we are. We're in between the bubble and Colonia, so if you know anything about the galaxy map, then you kind of have an idea of where we are. Right. Pop the Discovery scanner, find out what we have here. 4 bodies, not very much. Alright. Oh, yeah, and everything is right there, so not really too much to do except top off our fuel. And then I'll take a second to bring up the galaxy map so that you guys can see where we are.
Fuel scooping complete.
Alright. So we are currently right here. Our fleet. This is where our fleet carrier is, right there. And we started off at the bubble over here, and we're heading off towards Colonia in that direction.
Frameshift drive.
So that's where we're going. Haven't really decided where we're going to go after that. I mean, realistically, we have another 2 months before we're going to make it to Colonia. Our weekly carrier live stream, our carrier reposition live stream, is only about 1,500 light years at a time. So we're moving about 1,500 light years a week. We do 3 jumps, we station ourselves in the next area that we're going to be in, and then we just the carrier just sits there for the week while I do exploration in whatever area we're in. We're not in a major hurry, we have nowhere really to be. This series is mostly about just kind of hanging out in space and enjoying the ambiance of it. Flying around in the various different ships that we have. It's kind of nice that we have the fleet carrier carrying all of the ships that I really like to fly around. So that way every week we have something different to play with. You know, and ideally, you know, it makes me a little bit more interested because I have different ships to fly. And it'll also make you guys a little bit more interested, I hope, because you have different ships to watch me fly. So, yeah, there's that. For those of you who are interested in watching some dude flying around on the internet. I'm a big fan of the Let's Play model of stuff. I much prefer to watch a Let's Play video than some kind of highlight reel, just because it just, you know, the highlight reels get really boring, at least to me. All these highly edited and chopped up videos. I'd rather just have one video that I follow from start to finish. That's just me. Of course, I grew up reading books, so that's just, I guess it's kind of natural for me to prefer that kind of a format than this highly cut up and disjointed thing that YouTube is now, that most content creators do now. It's like, I don't know. I'd rather just sit down. Like my favorite video series of all time was Captain Sparkle's Let's Plays, like back in the day, like the Jerry's Tree and all that. Like that was my. I sat down and watched that series a few times because, you know, he was interesting to watch and he did some interesting things with this game, and he was just a pleasant person to kind of hang out with online for a little while. It was nice to be able to do that. So I'm trying to harness that energy. It also, a lot of it's just because I hate doing video editing, I'm not going to lie. I figured out ways to do overlays and things in my videos and make it so that, for the most part, I don't have to do video editing. Unfortunately, my American Truck Simulator series, I do have to do a little tiny bit of editing because I have to put some time lapses in that. There's just really no getting around it. But for most of my other stuff, I'm able to just pop my overlays on there and just let it ride. Okay, so we have a bunch of stuff here, and these are all icy bodies. I don't generally bother with icy bodies, but there's not that many here, so fine. We'll go ahead. I don't generally bother with just icy bodies, and I usually skip them when there's other things in the system. But there's only a few in here, so I guess it doesn't hurt us to take a minute and just look. If there were many more than the 8 that are here, then I probably wouldn't bother with it, because that's a lot of time to spend on something that's probably only going to end up being nothing. But when there's only 8 like that, it's not that big of a deal. I do struggle a little bit on these first two episodes right after my live stream. So the way my recording schedule kind of works is that I'll do my live stream at 6 p.m. on the Sunday night, and then to make sure I have a video that posts the next day that's not out of order from the live stream, I end up having to record another episode right after that to make sure that I have an episode that posts the next day. And then I have to come in the next day and record. Because I try to record a day in advance to make sure that I have, to make sure I give early access opportunities to my members, my channel members. So I try to make sure that I'm doing it that way. And so the problem is that because I have an hour's worth of talking to do for my live stream, and I try to come up with a bunch of topics for that, after that, the next couple of episodes, I'm kind of just out of things to talk about. And I'm more or less just kind of talked out at that point. I can force myself to talk like I'm doing right now, but for the most part, I don't really have too much to say, so coming up with things is a little bit difficult. Alright, I really want to find these rocky bodies because that has a better chance of having like a lot of diversity in it. It gives us yeah, but see the problem is that yeah, these are icy bodies. The rocky bodies are going to be surrounding these gas giants probably, so I'll take a second and do one of these, but I don't really want to spend a bunch of it's not that we don't have time to do it. It's just this whole I'm beating around the bush here because I'm trying harder to not complain about things. So I'll just state as dispassionately as I can. I'm not a big fan of the full spectrum system scanner minigame. And I get bored with it very quickly. So I generally, if there are certain planet types and things like that I'm not really interested in, I prefer not to waste my time scanning them because I just want to hurry up and get out of the full spectrum scanner mini game as quickly as I can. Because it's a boring process to me that it's boring and requires active engagement, and that's like the worst possible combination. So if I skip through things, that's why. It's because I really don't like the full spectrum system scanner process. I've proposed other solutions. You can see those in my other videos. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but I'm just not a fan. All right. It'd be really nice. We haven't found any. We found biological signatures. I don't remember if it was the last planet or the planet or the episode before that, or wait. Well, I guess it would have had to been the last planet because today is my second episode this week. We found I think the planet we took off from today had biological signatures on it, but unfortunately, we weren't able to find them, actually. So it was a planet with fumaroles on it, which was actually which actually would have been kind of interesting to find. But the place that we landed, even though the map was telling us that we should have found some there, sometimes you just get really unlucky, and the place that you end up landing is far away from any of them. And I don't typically try again because it takes a long time to get out of the atmosphere, swing around the planet, find another place to come down. It's just, oh no. Okay, I wasn't paying attention, and I just kind of, I haven't screwed myself yet, but it's going to be a problem if the next star in the route is not a fuel scoopable one. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. So yeah, let's get a little further away. We'll go ahead and scan all of this. There's a couple of high metal content worlds, so let's go see if we can find those real quick. Yeah, I'm just keep it to myself. I don't see. So because there's no gas giants, we shouldn't have to go into a cluster of bodies to find these. So I'm a little confused as to... Alright, are we going to be able to find... Oh, I guess we did. I guess all of these are just kind of together then. And that takes care of those. So I'm not going to waste any more time with that. The next one is a red dwarf star. Okay, so that is a fuel scoopable star. I was just saying at the beginning of this episode, I'm trying to be extra careful about making sure that we're going to, that we don't run out of fuel. I can afford one of those. But this ship really, at max range, only has about 2 jumps available. And I guess we're at the end of whatever our current route is, because that was only 10 light years. I think the max range on this ship is 29. So It doesn't really use that much fuel if you're not maxing out your thing. But for this ship, I get 2 max jumps before we're pretty much out of fuel and can't go anywhere else. So I got to be super careful. Gotta be super, super careful. If I'm not paying attention and I accidentally jump to 2 non-fuel scoopable stars in a row, we're screwed. So I just got to be super, super careful. All right, so there's enough in this system that we'll go ahead and stop and scan real quick. Well, maybe not. It's all just icy bodies and gas giants. So let's hop into the system map then. Zoom out. We ended up going... I always end up kind of going along our path as when we start doing exploration. So we kind of went this way, and now I just want to do like a circle around. So maybe we'll go something like this. Yeah, that's probably good. All right, cool.
Frameshift drive.
So we'll turn around and head off in that direction to see if maybe we can find something else to do. So yeah, you look at the highlighted portion over there with the jumping that's happening right now with the fuel, and we can see we're using up about a half a tank. So gotta be super careful.
Engage.
I should probably see if I can upgrade my fuel tank to be something bigger for this, but I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. Well, I think it's probably worth. I don't know. I don't think we can equip a bigger fuel tank. I don't know that that's an option. So, regardless, by the time we get back, we'll be putting this away and moving on to another ship. So, I should probably do it while I should probably do it when we put it away, so that the next time we pull this thing out, I don't have to try to remember to do it then, because I probably won't. I won't remember to do it by then. I can barely remember to do something 5 minutes after I think about doing it. I'm certainly not going to remember it weeks from now when we pull this thing back out. All right. High metal we'll go ahead and check that one out. Why not? But hopefully we'll find one that has 2. If we find a high metal content planet with 2 biological sources on it, that almost certainly has stratum tectonicus on it. Geological 2. So we'll just keep swinging around until we hopefully find the last of the high metal content bodies. All right, that's it for those. And then asteroid clusters. I don't generally bother with asteroid clusters, and the one time that I do, it's not right where I'm looking for them, so that's fine. Oh wait, what was that other? What's this? It's a water world. Nice. So we'll go check that out first, because we don't have to land to do that one. All right, so we'll go check this one out first. Get that one scanned. Then we'll go over and check out the... All right, so 17C.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Super Cruise Assist. So for general planet scanning, I forgot to pull up my observatory again. I keep forgetting to do that. For general scanning, I only do ammonia worlds, water worlds, and Earth-like worlds. Those are the 3 high-value planets that you can scan, and from what I remember, they are by far more expensive than any of the other ones that you can find. So as far as just straight-up planetary scanning for things you can't land on, these are the ones I typically go for. So again, we're just going to wait for the surface scanner to be ready to go. And then this one wants 6 probes, max. I could probably get away with 4, but there's no reason not to just go ahead and do 6. All right. I probably couldn't get away with 4, not with the 6-body planet. Oh, why am I waiting? All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this guy. That should be our biological source. Turn around, and we'll go see if we get lucky with this one. Again, single biology sources are almost always going to be bacteria, but you never know. Every once in a while, you get one that you get lucky, and it's something different. So we'll see. We're looking for 20C. If you're wondering why I keep saying speeds, a helpful tip that was given to me is that if you bring yourself up to about 10% of the distance for your how do I say this? If you bring your speed up to 10% of the distance that you have to travel, up to about 1,000 or so light seconds, it'll generally pop you out of Super Cruise at the speed that you need to where you can hopefully get right there around the 7 seconds, and then basically max efficiency of trying to get towards where you're going. Now, out past that, you just hold it down until you get to the 7 seconds or 5 seconds, or 7 seconds or 6 seconds, or sometimes even 5 seconds. And then the deceleration that you experience with the Super Cruise Overdrive will generally pull you back from the brink fast enough to avoid slamming into anything. So that's just kind of the basic rules I'm following right now. It generally works out okay. So let me see if I can say that in a more clear and concise way. If you're doing about 2,000 light seconds or less, hold the Super Cruise Overdrive until your speed is about 10% of the total distance that you have to cover. So 1,000 light seconds, you want to go to about 10 C. And of course, it was just a bacteria. So, target next system en route. Frame shift drive up to the next one. We'll do one more system and see if there's anything there. Otherwise, we'll just we'll go ahead and call it a day. So, if you're doing 1,000 light seconds away, you want to get up to about 10 C. That doesn't sound right. 1,000 light seconds away, you go to 100 C, 10%. So 100 light seconds, you go up to 10 C. 1,000 light seconds, you go up to 100 C. So just by 10. And then once you get past about 2,000 light seconds, you're looking at just waiting until the time your ETA gets down to about 5 or 6 seconds. And then when you turn off the Super Cruise, it will slow you down fast enough to prevent you from overspeeding and shooting past your target. So yeah, there's that. There's a lot of bodies in this system. Trying to make sure that I get down below or above the plane of the system so that hopefully the star isn't in the way. Unfortunately, it's all icy bodies again, so it doesn't look like we're going to find anything interesting this week. We're still going to go ahead and take a look at all these bodies since this is our last system to look at, because finding some exobiology is better than finding zero exobiology. So if we get lucky and there happens to be even just some space mushrooms in here, then that's better than nothing. Geological. Nope. So just keep swinging around. Gas giant with some icy moons. Up here. Likely, oh, we got two more gas giants around here somewhere. Then a bunch of moons around that. Geological. Biological 2. That's worth going to look at. Just make sure we don't have anything. Oh, another 2 biology planet. We'll probably have to grab that in the next episode, because by the time we get over to the planet and get down there and scan, by the time we get to the planet, scan it, get down there, find the. It's almost certainly going to be Fonticula, the space mushrooms. So by the time we get over there, descend, do all that stuff, we're going to be out of time. We'll have to wait for the next episode to grab the next one. So let's see. Let's get this guy set as our Super Cruise assist. Okay, so 480. We're looking for about 48 C. And because we were so close, you want to use the 10% rule. Once you get past about 2,000 light seconds, then you just look at the ETA and use that. So yeah, it's gotta. Yeah, the only thing I like, I wish you could do the planets the same way you do the space stations, because there's a quick drop thing you can do for the space stations where you can just bump it down to 5 seconds, 5-second ETA, and that will like quickly move you to the station and then insta drop you into the zone for the space stations, for the space station or whatever in space thing that you're trying to get to. Unfortunately, it does not work for bodies because you just end up slamming into them. You don't really want to do that. That wastes a bunch of time and damages your ship. So generally try to avoid that if you can. So, what I'm expecting to see here from my months of experience doing this is that we're going to see bacteria and fonticula. Bacteria and some kind of space mushrooms. So, we have 4 probes for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just wait for that to pop down. We have to wait for these because you can filter through. So I got to make sure I wait for this to hit so I can filter to the fonticula, and then we can head down to the planet and grab some samples. All right, there's the fonticula. Turn off our Super Cruise assist so that it doesn't fling us around the planet. All right. Wait a minute. Wow, the biology for this planet kind of sucks. Most of the time, the fonticula is like all over the place. I wonder if this is like a rare species then. So we'll kind of go like this.
Orbital flight engaged.
This is weird. I'm not used to fonticula being in very small patches. It's almost like you find them in craters and stuff, but they'll also be out there on the plains. So I'm wondering if this is going to be some kind of different variety that maybe I haven't seen before. I'm not used to the fonticula being like concentrated in the patches like this. I would normally have a much more steep ascent, but I wasn't expecting the patches to be like this. So I didn't really position myself properly for that. And by the time my brain started paying attention and I realized that it was like this, I was already out of position. So we're just going to have to kind of suck it up and wait till we do a shallow glide all the way down to the bottom. Okay. This is weird, because this is an icy body, right? It was an icy body, but there's not very much ice on it. So I'm curious to know what kind of fonticula we're going to find here. No, just regular fonticula. Okay, well, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that this was like this.
Landing gear deployed.
But yeah, we've seen these a million times before. There's nothing new about this, so I think we're going to go ahead and just call it an episode. I'll grab these last 2 samples on my own. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click the like button to spread the video out to more people. Subscribe to the channel to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. If you'd like to support our work here, you can join the channel as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. So again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Deep Space Carrier series and Elite Dangerous. Be sure to come back for our next exploration adventure, and I'll see you then.